Hello. Greetings, my glittery people. Today is a little bit weird. I won't get into all of why, but slightly weird day for me, so I might be in and out, but also, let's hope for the, plan for the worst, hope for the best, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit more work on the ring boxes. So to remind y'all where we are, we've got two completely glittered, not completely finished, I wish. We've got two completely glittered Patina Velvet. Patina Velvet is our mint, our Robin's Egg Blue Velvet. These got two coats of glitter, inside, outside, bottom, all around, and a nice coat of glitter is done on those. So these are actually ready to embellish, so we might get into that. Let's see, I will have to plug in my hot glue gun. Who got me last time? My hot glue gun got me, but I'm okay. I'm healing up. But what I would love to do is, those are the rings. We've got our 1, 2, hey baby girl. Fanny's here to say hi. We've got our 1, 2, 3, 4 white shoes. These are going to be wedding shoes. And then we've got two more shoes that got painted with like a Robin's Egg Blue and are going to get breakfast at trademark infraction. So I was going to buy myself another jar, but I found I have a half full, 2/3 full jar. I was digging through my stash, cleaning up, and I found it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe that'll work. And then depending on how we're doing on that, throwing stuff around. Depending on how we're doing on that, because white work is meticulous, so you do have to kind of be mindful. I've got clean glue, brand new, like the snow before it's driven, white glue with nothing, no glitter, no nothing. I have a brush that I've cleaned for this purpose. Clean paper, clean space, clean everything. So we are ready to work on our white glittering. Oh, she did not get her final bottom coat, so I'm going to do that real quick and pop in the dehydrator, and it'll probably be done by the time we get through what we're getting through. That's on me. All right, y'all will recall I saved this tiny little bit of white paint because we don't waste. Wherever we can, we're gonna, all right, use every little bit. Maybe not to the point of making ourselves go crazy, but I think it's helpful to, I try not to throw stuff out. Okay. Just gonna get this real quick. And that's perfect. I'm glad I saved this little cup because it was exactly what I needed. I was going to use it to work on the unicorn demos, which I am working on in an extracurricular capacity. And y'all can see I filled it in. We're up to 9. We're up to 9. And once I get my last little Po' Boy shoe done, I'll pop it up to 12. Because even though one of those Po' Boy shoes is currently living at the glitter store, she is going to get thrown for sure. Not for sure. Nothing is certain, right? But I'm envisioning throwing her. Okay, so that is done. Does anyone need a touch-up while I've got the glue out? Good, 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 good. Clean, clean, clean. White, 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 white. All the way around. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. Do a little bit along her edge here. She doesn't really need it, but I got the paintbrush out, so like, why not? You know, why not? Okay. As a reminder, paintbrushes do not go into our water brush. They go into a damp baby wipe so that I can clean it afterwards. Cup is empty. We got every little bit. Nobody can say we didn't get every little bit because we got every little bit. Okay, and then the one who I just painted, who is her, I'm going to set her down for now, and I will come back to her. So we're ready to start putting white on here. For your white glitter, you've got lots of options. Magic white is really pretty. I mean, all of our whites are pretty. They all have different, I would say, different characteristics and different sort of best case use, best applications, if that makes sense. So what I have here, though, actually is just kind of a mix of whites. I've got a little bit of what she most closely resembles Magic White, I would say, but she is Queen of Diamonds. That gives it that extra kind of punch. So I love Queen of Diamonds. It's the extra fine cut, so if you have like 15-20% extra fine in there, it's going to give it a little extra oomph. This is a bag of Miss May's, so I've got that available also. We can mix it up. We can do some of both. So, you all right, bud?
Yeah.
Good. She's got a few little specks, so we'll see. But I've got Miss May's here. What I'm going to do, don't mind me. Going to get a little Miss May's going. Because I might want to wait and do my Special mix with the Queen of Diamonds on the top coat. But I prefer to use Ultrafine on my base coat where I can. Let me see if I can pool these and kind of take the little bits out as I go. She's got just a few little flecks of confetti, which aren't a big deal. But for white, I do generally want to work as cleanly as I can. So I'm just slowly moving her into the big cup. Hi, honey. Hey, sweetie girl. And if you like tap, tap, tap your stuff, I find it sort of, you know, brings the big pieces to the top, and that's a little easier for them to be found. Okay, but that's nice and clean. Clean white glitter. That is going to be probably 95% Miss May's, maybe a little bit of Spirit Queen, you know. Okay, and now the fun part. White glue on top of white paint and then white glitter. Trying to see where you've spread white glue onto white paint makes you a little nutty. Or a little even more nutty. We're already starting kind of nutty. Hey, Fanny. She wants to get in my way so bad, but I've already got stuff here, so she can't. You were too slow. My girl. I think the angle's okay. Okay. So on the one hand, I know it's not the most scintillating to watch me just put basic coats on these, but this is a big part of the process. Doing good prep and then clean technical work. Okay. All right, pen glue. And when you put glue on top of a painted shoe or a painted throw, it is going to feel a little bit different. It's not going to glide quite as easily as it would over glitter. And it's going to feel like it's maybe drying out almost a little faster than usual. I think the glue coat kind of soaks up the paint coat kind of soaks the glue up a little weird. So something to be aware of. Make sure you're continuously moving stuff around. Okay. Clean paper, clean glitter. Scooch these girls aside. Good to go. Beautiful. Miss May's is so pretty. Maybe some of these I'll do just Miss May's on her own. Though all the whites are very, very beautiful. Miss May's is one of my favorites. She is, I think, low stock at the moment, but man, y'all, the past couple of days, I have been absolutely busting my butt. Pretty soon, we're going to have, like, a great restock on almost everything, glitter-wise. I have been working hard because I think that people are starting earlier this year than usual, and I already feel like a lot of people are really, like, hitting the ground running. So it is important to me to facilitate that wherever I can. I don't want people to be ready to roll but waiting for a glitter restock, so very soon. All right. I don't know if you can see so great in this lighting, but she now, can you see the difference? I'll take better pictures when she's actually done, but she's pretty. She's glittered. Oh, you in your box? Good girl. Pretty, glittered. Once she dries, we will do her heel and her sole. You just can't settle down, huh, honey? She keeps getting in her box and then coming over. What she really wants is to be in the way, and it's hard for her to not be in the way. Woe is me, says Fanny. I can't get in the way. She's just flicking her little tail. That's... She's got her back turned to me, but I know she's interested in what I'm doing. Hey, girly. Hey, baby girl. My sweetie pie. My little glitter puss. Hi, hi. Very social little critter. I think Fanny thinks she's people. I don't think Fanny knows she's a cat. I think she thinks she's a person. Which I know is true of a lot of cats, but Fanny really thinks she's people. Okay. Whew. I know that it feels monotonous. I almost said monogamous. I know that it feels monotonous. I got it right the first time and then I messed around. I know it feels like a lot of the same thing over and over again. But the nice thing about doing these batches of shoes, doing kind of the similar design, is it's so efficient. Once you put them all together, it's so satisfying to see a nice little pile of them. I was looking at even my 4 little pizza slices next to each other when I was boxing them up. I was like, ah, yes. Yes, yes. And I dug around. I know I was talking about it's a conundrum for me. Do I want to finish off my extracurricular pizzas or pack them up? I did dig around and find some partial white paint tubes. So I'm going to see how far I can get into it. Maybe I'll do halvesies. Maybe I'll finish 6 and then pack 6 up for a rainy day. I was thinking about it. I could have done these with white velvet, and that would have been very pretty. But I do like the really bright sparkle, which you can't really see so great in this lighting, but it's a very bright, very pretty sparkle. Sparkle, sparkle. I wonder if I should do something about the lighting in here. I wonder if, like, there's a better bulb or something. I don't know. Oof. 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 Hey, honey. Sweetie girl, my baby. I'm going to plug in my glue gun because before I move out of doing white stuff, I am going to glue white ribbon onto the jewelry box shoes. While I'm still handling. I did 2 of them with Miss May. I think I'll do these 2 with my mix. And again, my mix is mostly ultrafine with some Queen of Diamonds for extra sparkle. I think in here I've probably got some Spirit Queen, some Miss May's, and probably some Boeuf Gras. Those are kind of my big ones. Those are the ones I use most often. Boeuf Gras is probably my favorite, like, wedding white because it's very metallic. I was messing around with some table shoes and thinking about how that's one of my absolute favorite sort of constructions, when you make a little table and put stuff on the table, because I love miniatures. I love to kind of set the scene and tell a little story. I love doing the Joseph Salters. I love doing the little carnival picnic tables. And by picnic, I don't mean like picnic. I mean like the food you eat out on the route. King cake and fried chicken and stuff. Sometimes I get some po' boys and some wine in there and stuff. But I do love a table. I have never done it before, but it would be really pretty to maybe do a little table that has like a wedding cake on it. That would be a cute riff on the like ring. So I love making the white shoes with the rings in them and all the white flowers and stuff. That is very pretty, and I continue to enjoy that very much, even though I've made not like a ton of them, but even though I have made multiples of those. All right. It's my white mix. Woohoo. Wow. It's a pretty mix. Yeah, it's pretty close to Magic White. Magic White is sort of formulated to be really shiny without being like pure extra fine, because extra fine flakes do have a bit more punch, but you don't get as fine a cover if you use pure extra fine. Sometimes that's definitely a look. Okay, she's pretty. Smack on her bottom. All right, so that's 3 girls with their white glitter. That's still drying a little bit, so I'm going to give it a little more time. And what I think we can do, glue gun is cooperating, is start putting... Oh my gourd. Okay. So, as a reminder, the ring kit from Craft Culture comes with a yard of double-sided premium white satin ribbon. So before I do any trimming, I'm going to glue this in place. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I'm going to put 1 dot here. Sorry, that's hard to see. I'm going to put 1 dot there. And then... Okay. Doot, doot. Come here. Okay. Easy peasy. When I'm doing these bows, I make 2 loops and then I tie them. I am by no means like the queen of the bows, but I find the fact that it's double-sided helps. You don't have to worry too much about the directionality. So that's going to sit right on there. Okay. I'll probably need to buy some more white ribbon or dig in my stash, but that's fine. Pretty sure we also sell it a la carte. So it's going to go like that and then have the ring in it. But I'm not going to glitter this right now. I will put the ribbon on the shoe and then glitter the bow and put the glittered bow. Well, I put the ribbon on the shoe. I glitter the ribbon on the shoe. I'll show you guys. And then, do I want to, I'm trying to decide if I want it to look like, I'll try it both ways. I'll try it both ways. This time I've twisted it. could do it either way. I kind of like it straight across, but both ways work. Whatever tickles your fancy. And I am going to need more white ribbon. But it's enough for one for sure. You can always get more white ribbon. Okay. So, I glued my white ribbons across the fronts of those. It'll go like that when it's done, and this one, same thing, it'll go like that when it's done, and then they'll both have rings in them. So I'm gonna take a smaller brush and take my white paint, white glue, not white paint, and I'm just gonna add carefully. I find I like it a little better if I put it together, if I put the ribbon on the shoe and then glitter it. But your mileage may vary. You may find you're more comfortable. But I do want to put that on before I trim the shoe at all. And on the wedding shoes, I don't put any ribbon. So that's no biggie. Oh, I guess I could do white velvet. No, I guess there isn't that. I guess velvet ribbon does exist, but this would probably be a satin ribbon, and so I want the glitter to be shiny. Thank you for joining me as I worked that out. Okay. So I have painted the glue on there. I've dropped some stuff. I've painted the glue on there. I'm going to put my Miss May's. So that's nice and sparkly. I'm going to let that dry. And it might need a second coat or a touch-up. No problem. Same thing to this one. Going to be a little tougher because it's twisty. I kind of like it just straight across because it looks a little more geometric. And I like that. I like the sort of clean geometry. I was like, oh, maybe I'll undo the bow and put the piece across the other two box shoes, but I forgot. They are not at all glittered yet. The velvets are ready to go, but my other girls still need some sparkly lovin'. Oh dear. All right, I can see I got a little bit of cross-contamination there, so what I'm going to do is take a brush and just brush it out. So that way, this is still good to go. That's on me. I did not brush my shoe out enough. Oh, yep. That's my bad. That's what I get. All right, she's ready. I mean, ready to dry, I guess. Ready in that sense. And then this girl, I'm going to go ahead and get started on her. Uh-oh. My space is clear and Fanny senses my weakness. I'm going to brush the glue onto this bow, getting every little bit. You want the whole bow to be sparkly, or I want the whole bow to be sparkly. You could also totally just put the bow on there with no glitter, but, you know, y'all know me. I love to put glitter on stuff. Whether it's a good idea or not, that's what I like to do. Okay. Let me get another piece of scrap paper because that one is gluey now. Okay, that's ready to go. Oh, I see I have a sign up for, I put another mermaid bathtub class on the schedule. So I see that went up. And I see I got a sign up. So if you missed the first mermaid bathtub and you would like to come make a mermaid bathtub with me, we are doing that again in May. Okay. So the bow, I have glittered the bow. I will set it aside to dry. I will check and see. Ooh, Still a little wet. But I could probably, if I'm careful, what I'm going to do on her is instead of doing the outside, the inside, I'm going to do the bottom and the inside. So I'm still making progress, but I can put some wet paint or wet glue on top of. It's not like wet, it's just not so dry that I want to hold it by the heel. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Slightly different vibe, no problem with that. And I think I might do Boeuf Gras on her. Might do them all a little different. And just check who I like the best. Don't go anywhere. All right, so she is not getting, I would have to now hold her by the heel and set her down, and she's just not quite dry enough. All right, Boeuf Gras. Pretty, ooh, pretty. Pretty sparkle. The Boeuf Gras is also like one of my favorite signature floats in all of Carnival time. Really love to see the Boeuf Gras. Though often by Mardi Gras Day, I'm pretty tired, so I like to see the Boeuf Gras, but it doesn't always happen. So the paint is mostly dry. Dry enough to glitter over. Not dry enough to like hold on to. And that's okay. We're going to set her on her side and she's going to be beautiful. Okay. Careful to spread it nice and even. Careful to get a good even coat, even on top of the paint. Because that is a little tricksy. How we doing? About half an hour, not bad at all. Half an hour is not bad at all to make the progress we have made. Back. All right, she's glittered on the bottom. She's glittered on the inside, so I'm going to set her down on her side. So she's on a slightly different journey than her sisters, but we're all going to get where we're going more or less at the same time, so we're good. Okay, I think that's it for white glitter today. I'm going to put my Boeuf Gras over there, not putting it like all the way away because I am still going to need it. I have my Miss May's in the cup because I took it out of the bag. I'm not going to put it back in the bag because I'm still using it. I've got my mix of whites, my little Especial Blanc. I don't need my little brush anymore, so I'll put it away. Scooch a little. So I will put it away. Hi, Fanny. Let's see. Who's next? Fanny says hi. Who's next? Are you looking at yourself? Are cats able to do that? Do we think she's admiring her own little face? I think she just wants you guys to enjoy her beauty. Oh, you are very beautiful, honey. Can you get on down now? Can we get on down? Okay. On my sweater, on my sweater. Miss Ma'am. She gets her little tootsie stuck and then she's mad about it. Okay. Down you go. All right, so we're going to put, I like to do white first and then the breakfast at Trademark, because if I get Trademark in the, if I get blue in the white, it makes the white a little blue, but if I get a little white in the blue, it doesn't really show, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And if you're an experienced glitterer, even if you're like a medium experienced glitterer, you kind of know what I'm talking about probably. Some colors, you have kind of an order in your head that you do them because you would prefer they not, you don't mind a little bit of white in your trademark, but you don't want any trademark in your white. I hope that makes sense. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, I have no idea how that is gonna strike people. Okay, you are, I'm gonna decide what to do with you. Now you're pretty messed up. You're going in the Especial. In you go. Sometimes I sweep it up and I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. I don't need to, she can be, you know, she can go into a base coat or something, and then it's like, oh, no, she needs to go into the Especial. Sometimes you don't know until you sweep it up and look. All right, so I've got about 2/3 of a jar of Breakfast at Trademark Infraction. Let's see how it goes. And I did consider doing silver, heel, and platform and sole on her, but I think I'm just gonna, maybe I'll do one of each. I'll do one of each. Why not? This is the year, this is the season of, we're going to do a little light experimenting. We're going to see what, we're going to put all of our options side by side and see who is our favorite and what vibes we get from different choices. I think that's cool and fun and a great way to grow as a glitterer. And also it makes the batch a little more interesting. You know, if I'm doing slight differences, my efficiency takes a little bit of a hit, but it also becomes more interesting. By and large, I think the more you repeat yourself, the more efficient it is, because you can kind of like zen out and autopilot a little bit. You don't have to be making like intellectual decisions. It's the difference between like planning your meals for the week and sort of chopping veggies. You know, once you know what you're doing, it's just a different brain space to occupy. The actual intellectual making of the plan is just a different flavor than the sort of meditative part where you can kind of vibe out. So the more you do that, the less of your mental energy goes into it. If you make the exact same shoe twice, you're basically doing the mental energy, getting 2 shoes for the mental energy of 1. And if you do it 4 times, you're getting 4 shoes for the mental energy of 1. But you definitely notice yourself being like, oh, this again? So everybody kind of finds their own sweet spot. Some people will do like complete every single shoe or grail or peach. That jumped into my head. My buddy who's in the Aerial Space Squad did glittered peaches. They were so cute. So fabulous. But yeah, every little glittered thing. You can do them all completely different. Each one can be its own unique artistic expression. This year with the short carnival, that's kind of why I'm doing a little bit of a batch approach, because I think it's going to get me bigger numbers faster. And that feels good too. I'm making it sound like, oh, I'm going to force myself through these big batches. It's not that. It's just different things feel good to different parts of your brain, you know? Novelty feels good, but so does... Whew. Novelty feels good, but looking at a big batch of finished, ready-to-go shoes in the spring, that is a pleasure that you should not discount too quickly. Novelty is fun, but a big finished pile of stuff. Well done, but still, a big finished pile of stuff. Pretty sweet feeling. All right. That is one down. I didn't get as deep into the toe as I meant to, but I won't fix it now, because if I try to go in with wet glue, I'm going to... Buddy, what you doing? Hey! What? Oh, okay. So she is done. Just the comparison between the velvet and the, I don't know if you can see, she's a little more twinkly, she's a little more pearly. Both very beautiful, just slightly different aesthetics. You good, bud? Your brother wanted to show you? Cool. Okay. Running low on glue, but that's okay because we're kind of nearing the finish line on our semi-shears for today. And I will once again need to have clean brush, clean glue, clean space. Now, when you're doing like metallic purple, green, and gold opaques, it's not like you want your space and your brush and your glue to be dirty or anything. It's just a different sort of standard. A little fleck of black glitter in your purple isn't going to bother you as much as a fleck of black glitter in your white. And of course, I'm not here to tell you what bothers you. If it doesn't bother you, then by all means, roll out. Like, do your thing. But for me, I like my semi-shears to be, I want this to look like the jewelry box of your dreams. Just crisp and clean and a beautiful shade of robin's egg blue. The big, beautiful ring in it. That's fun for me. Okay. I have not done her inside yet, but I've run out of glue and I don't want this exterior glue to dry. Over paint, the glue just dries out a little fast, so. The one I just did is going to be completely monochromatic, all Tiffany, all robin's egg blue all around. All teal all the time. But on this one, I think I'm going to do this platform and this heel silver. I think that would be pretty. Okay. Need a little more glue. Come here. Oof. You'll notice I'm using my little cup and not my big Mama Jamma because my big Mama Jamma, it's harder to keep it clean. I need to peel her too. The big Mama Jamma is good for like working a lot of big batches, but it's easy for, if you have a big batch and you get a little bit of glitter in there, then you got a big batch of not clean glitter. Whereas if you do a little one, if you accidentally get a little glitter in there, you can just start a fresh new cup. So that's how we rollin'. And I have already pre-mixed some Aleene's into this big jug. So it's mostly Mod Podge with a little Aleene's just to give it a little extra, a little more viscosity, a little more grip. Mm-hmm. The pointy ones, it's a little tougher to get down into the toe. But when the going gets tough, the tough get glittering. I can do it. I can do hard things. I tell my kids that. I know it's hard, but you can do hard things. Okay, okay, okay. Nice even coat of white glue. Okie dokie. So that's pretty, and we're gonna do, I think, silver on the bottom. I think that'll be cute. I'm gonna think about that, but I think I'm gonna do silver on the bottom. The little platform here, I think. All right, all my girls have their first coats. We're looking good. So what we can do now, because we still got a little bit of time, is start working on our rings. So I started one ring. Last time I had one ring, I have a mix of silver and I think cafe au lait maybe, or maybe baked with love. She's got some stuff in her. That makes a kind of nice light gold color. I'm going to do some regular silver. I've got holographic silver, and then I've got DEA badge silver with Sail On Silver Girl. That's pretty nice. I found I can probably only do one ring in her, but she's really pretty, so I might try to like formulate this. Found this old Martha Stewart sterling silver. That's very fun. I think it's a mix of white and silver, so that's cool. That'll be fun. But anyway, let's get started because we've got 8 rings to do. So on the first day, I hold it by the prongs and do the loop. Then I'm going to do the prongs and let those dry, and then I'm going to do the whole thing a second time. 2 coats of glitter does take a little more effort than 1, but I find I get better results if I do 2 coats of glitter. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And yeah, you can do a bright gold, you can do whatever metallic appeals to you, you can do. I'm going to put that down there. I will say that you can also sort of match if you have a particular ring in mind that you are matching. So this one I'm going to hold it by the prongs. I bet I could make that sterling silver if I mixed Boeuf Gras and DEA badge silver. I bet that would be pretty. I wonder what would happen if I mixed Boeuf Gras with cafe au lait. Would I make kind of a white gold? That could be fun. But I'm going to do some kind of gold bands and some kind of silver bands, and then I'm going to do one in that platinum because I think that's fun. All right, on her, I'm going to do, I think I got enough of this to do two of my pretty gold. Probably put gold in the wedding rings. And I have played with putting confetti into the band. I don't really like that. I'll show y'all kind of what it looks like, and I would absolutely encourage you to play around. But I think the fine glitter by itself makes the most kind of ringy situation. This is one where I put some confetti into the band, and I just don't like it. It makes it look not smooth. Normally I love confetti. Normally I live for confetti because it gives it that extra like drama. But I find if I use a little confetti on the band, it just, to me, it reads a little like, I just don't like the texture as much when I do that. I just find it looks crackly. It looks Rice Krispie. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But I have a little bit of silver in my DEA badge silver, so we're going to see how I like the confetti in there. But if not, I can cover it up. All right, 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. I believe what I did last time is I just did the whole dozen. That's your prerogative. Scooch my little drying spot out of the way. All right, 1, 2, and then I'm gonna do, let's crank them out. Hold it by the prongs. And then that's gonna be it for me on the rings today. When those dry, they will get their second phase of glitter, which is the first coat on the heel and the sole. And that's just the order I do them in. So they will get You basically need 4 days of glittering per shoe if it's monochromatic. Which, think about that, y'all. Think about how many days and days of glittering go into the shoes. How much waiting and planning and prepping and drying and finishing and fixing. A lot of love and care. So that's a holographic silver. I think I'm going to do 4 gold, 4 silver. Probably what I'm going to do. See how I feel about that. And of my 4 gold, 2 will be that. Oh, but I want to make that. I want to see how that sterling silver, as Martha Stewart calls it. That was what in the oldie days of glitter, that was what I used, was the Martha Stewart stuff. And it came in these little tubes, and you would pour it out and then pour it back and pour it, and it took forever. You could not buy, or maybe you could. I was not hooked up such that I could buy half pounds of glitter. There were ways to get bigger quantities of glitter, but I was not at the time privy to them. How do we feel? Yeah, I don't hate the 1mm Sail on Silver Girl in the DEA badge silver. I don't think I have any DEA badge silver on its own, but I'm going to check and see, because that's probably what I want to do for the rings. But for first coats, it doesn't really matter. We're going to cover them up anyway. Silver. Boop. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very efficient, but you kind of start to feel a little loopy. Okay. All right. 230. Okay. So on these last 2 silvers, I'm just going to use this ultrafine holographic, because I can always cover it up. I think I like the flat silver better than the holographic, because the flat silver just looks more real. You know, they don't really have that rainbow finish on a metal ring. All right. All right. Oh, you are messy. That is probably my base coat from Sandcastle. Would be nice. I wonder if I can dig up some Sandcastle. Sandcastle is a nice, cool, kind of sandy. Effervescence is like a nice champagne gold. I just don't like the gold of the ring to be too brassy. That to me doesn't read as fancy. So I prefer to use one of the more antique golds. Louis First Horn, or Cafe au Lait, or Baked with Love, or Sandcastle, or Effervescence, or any of those blended with some silver to kind of cool them off a little. I think reads kind of looks kind of fancy. But yeah, so we did our first coat, our first of 4 steps of glitter. Because on a monochromatic shoe, we have to do the inside, the outside, the bottom, and the heel. So that's at least 2 days of glittering. But we have to do 4 stages, because we have to do the inside, the outside, let it dry, bottom and sole, or sole and heel, let it dry, and then do it again. So 4 glitter sessions, and probably 4 days, if we're being good and well-behaved and patient. All right, so you 2, what am I going to do with you guys? I said I was going to do 4 silver. I'll probably put silver rings in the Robin's Egg blue boxes, and my antique gold ones in the wedding boxes. But we'll see. We'll see who speaks to me. Let me get a little baked with love. Perfect. Yeah, that's pretty. That reads gold, but not like too brassy. So I don't want to use like Amun-Ra or Solid Disc Gold Dance. I really don't want to use Solid Disc Gold Dancer, although I love Solid Disc Gold Dancer, but not for this. That's not the vibe on this occasion. Last one. And then that's it for today. Cruising along. All right, so I do think I have enough Breakfast at Trademark to finish my shoes, but I do need more white ribbon. So I'm saying that out loud. Okie dokie. Artichokey. All right, 2 gold, 2 silvery gold, 4 silver. One of those 4 silver, I will use my precious little Martha Stewart. That's the other thing. I'm going to look for DEA badge silver, and if I forgot the bottom of the ring. And if I don't see any in my stash, I'll probably get some. That's always good. I go through a lot of that. That's a real workhorse glitter for me. I'm trying to use up stuff I have, but I'm also... All right, so I got 1, 2... It's hard to move them. All right, I've got my 8 rings started. I've got the glitter on the shoes drying. I need more ribbon, and I need more DEA badge silver, probably. And then once the ribbons dry on these, I can go ahead and trim these. I'm going to do one of them white and one of them silver, probably. I'm going to start with white, and if I'm so in love with it, I can't imagine anything else. But the wedding shoes, I'm going to do those all white. So we'll do a mix. It's good to do a mix. Okay, so happy with today's progress. Glad we are continuing to keep rolling. There is, let's see, it's the 20-something. So there's not a ton of April left, but I feel good about it. I think if I keep on rolling, I'll be able to finish these 8 girls in the next, week or so. And I appreciate the folks who are playing along, and thank you all for hanging out with me while I glittered, and I will see you next time.